Sophia.
Hey,
Hi,
Hayley.
Kelly. Hello to you joining us for A Measure of Marketing Season 2, Episode 13, Take 3, where we talk about what makes people actually read a marketing email.
What's the answer, Hayley?
There are many variables here, Kelly, and we've got a short episode that we're recording. We won't nail this in an hour. We wouldn't nail it in 90 minutes, but yeah, there are many variables that make someone, one, open an email, two, read it, and three, want to take action. So we could break it down into those sections to make it easier if you wanted to.
Yes, I think the first point though is how they're receiving the emails. As in, have they seen you somewhere and specifically gone, yes, I want to sign up, which is, I guess, what we're talking about here. But there are definitely times where you receive emails and you're like, who is this? I did not subscribe to this. Or where
Mm.
businesses are sending emails from lists that they have gathered themselves. So we're going to work on the assumption that you're sending emails and people have asked to receive them.
Yes, you've done it the right way. You have a subscribe function either on your website or a standalone page. You have a double opt-in with whatever email platform that you are using and that you are ticking the boxes for GDPR, whatever code of conduct you are following based on where you live. That's our disclaimer, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yes, because they're two very different things. I definitely receive emails and I'm like, I did not
Who?
sign up for this. Or also the amount of emails that you receive off certain people as
Yeah,
well. I think that
yeah,
can play a huge part if people open them or not.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah.
yeah, what was your first point on your post?
Um, Well, I suppose it's one, what makes someone want to even sign up to your emails, and that's really bringing them value or you're giving them value, and that's why they want to hear more from you and more directly as well, less passively via social media, but direct to their inbox.
Yeah.
But what would make them then want to open your email? And this, for me, when you start analyzing email marketing, where you start looking at open rates, so the number of people that have actually opened it versus the number that it's been delivered to, um, your subject line is so important to catch people's attention. That's what, as well as the brand and them how they feel about your brand, the whole brand marketing, part, it's what that subject line is offering. And people are very clever and they use like questions or they put something quite quirky in, like, we've got a secret to tell you, dot, 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 or, but it could be an offer, but it has to be clear in that subject line, because if you don't grab people straight away, if your brand isn't enough and you need more, people won't open it. They won't.
And do you use the preview text as well?
Hmm.
Yeah. I almost like try and do a little story isn't the right word, but like a subject line and preview text, and it kind of like
Loops. Yeah.
keeps it together and or give them a little sneak peek into what they're going to learn, or definitely something around, I don't like this term, but like pain point, something that you can potentially
Hmm.
solve, always works quite well. I also like a subject line with an emoji in.
Oh, that's a little controversial. That is.
I do that. I like
You
a
do
little
do.
bit. Yeah, I think
Mm.
my last email had a sick face emoji in it.
Do you know what? Yes, I haven't opened it yet, but it did. Um, I think, yeah, I do not underestimate the time and the value that you would get from subject testing. And you'll get this in any free platform or any paid one, is this what's called A/B split testing, where you test one subject line against another. And for those who haven't tried it yet, if you've not, given it a go, it will take 20% or however much you state, but it's typically 20% of your audience get tested against two different variables, and then the winner gets the end result. So either A or B. And I have spent, it's on average, I spend about 6 months with a client testing their emails, particularly for newsletters, to figure out what it is that grabs people attention. Is it subject matter? Is it product? Is it service? Is it pain points? Is it emojis? Is it personalization? And I think, yes, it takes 6 months. Yes, it's painful because you don't necessarily see results straight away, but you will do if you just give it that time and do it, you know, quite
Yeah.
but consistently.
What did you find out?
So I had it with with some clients, you can test, you could say something like, if it was marketing, for example, you could talk about the pain point of, is email marketing proving a problem? So you're focusing in on the subject of email marketing, but then it could be, here's a handy workflow, here's a handy workbook for you to understand email marketing better. But then the next time you might change up workbook to guide, and you might change handy to practical. So what is it that's grabbing their attention? Is it actually the deliverable of the workbook? Is it the fact that it's a hack or a tip or a tool? Or is it email marketing, product marketing? Is it event marketing? And then you start to kind of like play these off against each other to really funnel in on what's their specific problem right now, what's the specific solution for them right now, and how do you describe it? And
Yeah.
there's obviously different approaches, different ways you can tackle it. But yeah, that was one approach I took recently.
Yeah. My brain instantly goes to like thinking of speaking to lots of different individual business owners and how everyone has so very different needs though. But I'm
Yeah.
doing this on a bulk, potentially
Yeah. Yeah.
broad, putting
Yeah.
people in buckets almost, aren't we here? Um, yeah, you're taking like the average of what works in these scenarios.
You are, unless you get, in my opinion, quite honed in and you start testing data pots. So you use the what
Mm,
I call the STP model, which is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So you might want to segment your clients based on, are they a previous client? Are they a potential client? Have you worked with them 18 months ago? Have you worked with them 6 months ago? What was the product that they bought? Could you segment them via that? Could you segment them via the service you offered? And then you not only are testing the subject lines, but then you're testing the data pots as well. But uh, it depends how many contacts you've got. If you've got six that keep coming back to you, well, you can make it quite easy. You don't have to. But
yeah,
600 might be different.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so subject line, preview
Okay, that's one. The second one is I suppose, the answer to the main title of the podcast episode of, well, how do you actually get them to read it? So, what makes them actually want to read it? Um, and for me, it has to be personalized, it has to be relevant, it has to be useful, and you have to give them something, not necessarily a freebie, but you have to give them a sense of education, or you have to provide them with something that they didn't get before they open the email.
yeah,
Otherwise, why send it to them?
yeah. I think there's something in as well, like answering a core kind of question that your audience has. So my brain's scanning to some of the email marketing that I receive, and I've
Mm.
specifically signed up to it because of the topic that it's going to solve. And I know that person's topic or anchor, if that makes sense.
Mm.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm going to be getting from them. As in, they'll talk around the topic with different like pain points, solutions, etc.
Yeah.
But I know that they're going to talk to me about X in that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so choosing, I think, like a theme or yeah, like your anchor points in for the base of all of your emails is really important as well.
Yeah, and how I suppose you've got the bigger thing of how it fits into your campaign or to your messaging, but the anchor points have to flow, and those anchor points have to be of use to that person. And I think that's what people forget when it comes to the way they write it. To take those anchor points, it's not about you as the brand. It's not about the 600 people you're sending it to. It's about that one person that's reading it and how it makes them feel. And it could be a newsletter from a skincare brand of all their different cleansers and how amazing they are. Well, that's great, but what does each one do for me and how is it going to make my skin better? Or it could be a number of therapy services that you offer. Well, how does each one apply to me and how will I feel better as a result of signing up for one of them? But those
Yeah.
anchor points of having that key messaging throughout just has to deliver to that one person reading it and make it personal to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
There's also something in like the structure of it. So seeing lots of emails now that can actually be really long, that can you can be
Mm.
quite a long time. They're
Huh?
almost like a little chapter of a book. But the way in which they're written, it is like reading a bit of a story. There's lots of space between sentences and um almost like white space, as we call it, in the background. Um, so not lots of chunks of text. Yeah, you can just really flow and read it as a bit of a story.
Yeah, I think if you're wanting to keep people with you on a journey, I think those emails are brilliant because you are telling a story. But equally, it could be that you have a newsletter that provides three or four different stories or updates that I think you see less of them about company updates or brand updates, but it's more about the person and how those updates affect them.
Yeah.
I think you can have what we call solus emails, where you have those singular emails that just go out, those as part of a campaign, the lead magnets that are all automated or whatever else. I think the reason people will keep reading them is if they are relevant and beneficial to them. But the worst thing is to send too many. And that's one thing I try and get across to clients, and I know you do as well, is, you know, you don't want to send two or three in one week because it will people off to the point where they will just unsubscribe, and that's the worst thing. Delete is okay because they're still on your list, but if they unsubscribe, well, you've lost them, and
Yeah.
that I think that's the worst thing. So to keep them opening it, don't send too many.
Yeah. And also like if they've attended something of yours as well, I think the balance there is really important. So I attended a webinar last week, last Monday evening, I think it was, and I've been receiving emails off them literally like two or three a day since,
Oh no.
selling something at the end. And this was funny actually, but at the same time, I nearly replied and was like, "This is a no, don't do this." Um,
Absolutely not.
they had an offer on their whatever they were selling, and the email subject line was, um, "This is your confirmation for your purchase at X price." And I was like, I knew instantly what they were doing, what he'd done, as in like the preview text then was like,
Mm.
"Just kidding." And then
Mm.
the content of the email was how I'd missed out. But I was like, oh, that is a bold move. It's a bold move to like to let the
Yeah.
act as if I've made a purchase.
Yeah.
It was very spammy in that sense. But also out of that, I've been receiving emails three times a day off you about this offer. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a no. It's
No.
a no from
No.
me.
And I think that's the thing. It's still building trust with every communication and whatever channel you're using. You're building that trust, and they've lost yours totally in that one moment. The fact you've remembered it and you're sharing it as a story,
No,
you
I said
know,
yes.
yeah. And you're not going to take action. And that's, part three of what makes people read an email is then you want them to actually do something. So what do you want them to do? Read more in a blog post or sign up or get the discount code or buy a product or share their information, fill out a survey, but whatever it is, you have to provide them with enough trust and reassurance that this is the right thing for them.
Yeah.
And again, there's more testing, isn't there, of, well, are they going to click on a text-based link? Are they going to click on a button? Are they going to click on a picture? What is it that makes them click through and take action? But it's the way you write, that trust you build, that communication. And it comes back as well to, the brand marketing piece of how you make them feel, and the way
Yeah.
that that brand has made you feel hasn't made you want to necessarily take any further action, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
Crazy move.
yeah,
Definitely.
it's bold.
That.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Did you have 3 points or 4 points?
That was my third point. That was my three there, my trio of points to
Yeah,
shape the conversation.
I agree with all of those. I also think there's something in them seeing and expecting the same look of the email each time as well. So
Yeah,
every time, like choosing a or finding a time of the day, week, month, etc., that you send, and them expecting the same flow
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Making it easy for yourself and not making it too difficult for them to read.
yeah,
And that brand consistency piece as well.
yeah. I really agree with that. There's a sense of like psychological safety, I think, with that they know what they're getting, they know when to expect it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
Whistle stop tour. Love
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Packed
Um,
full of tips.
yeah. Thank you for all your points. They were all very,
Oh,
very
you're
good.
welcome. Pleasure.
Pleasure. If anybody listening has any email related questions, feel free to comment and we will come back to you and give you
Yeah,
some
yeah.
extra hints and tips. But yes, like, follow, subscribe on any of the platforms that you're listening to this on, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see you in the next one. Thank you, Kelly. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.